Right, so to load this up into Decentraland, we are going to load Decentraland. So Decentraland. We'll just go to the Decentraland.org website. I do hope everyone's got a MetaMask installed, unless you might be lost on this next step. Up the top here, we have Market Blender, blah, 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 Blender, Builder. So click on Builder. While that's loading, we will go into our MetaMask up in the top corner. What's this one? I think. Yep, fantastic. Right, so I've loaded up my dummy account, and it's on the Ethereum network. So make sure we're on that, and you're logged in. Rah. So now we need to go to collections underneath the builder. What we probably need to do is create a new collection. So click on new collection. We'll call this collection whatever. I'm going to call it lesson 1. I believe you can put spaces between it. Press create. And then inside of the lesson collection, we'll just click in that. Up here we've got new item. So we're going to add the shoes that we've put in here. So we can just drag the item in, or you can browse your computer. So I will browse the computer for this purpose and go to where I had my export folder and find shoes and click on that. It will load the item up. So for this purpose you can choose male or female. We're just going to choose both. Won't get into too much about what all that is. Right. So it should be quite self-explanatory. Now, finding shoes. I'll just type in shoes here. Shoes? No, feet. That's what it's under. So feet. And now we have an actual picture that's got lighting and things to it. Now, if you have a thumbnail, a pre-generated image that you wish to use rather than the default image that they create for you, there is a camera on the picture. You just click on the camera, and then you can go ahead and find a file to upload the a picture to. Thumbnails. Yeah, why not? We'll just do that. And I'll just get some random image just to demonstrate. Here we go. That'll work. Alright, so click on the camera, load the image, and there you've got that as a your thumbnail. So when you're in Blender, later on you can create poses and all sorts of different things in regards to your model and upload that, or you can do a Photoshop or some other editing software and create your own with what you want. So once you have all that, this also tells you here how many tries and triangles, materials, and all that that you have in this model currently. Just remember to refer back to your documentation at Decentraland under create wearables and creating wearables. And just remember that you have to keep them within 2 materials for wearables. Don't worry about skins. It's a different altogether. 500 for accessories and 1,500 tries for wearables. So, and that's where that shows there. So just make sure you're within that. During the testing phase, it doesn't matter too much. It's when you get them put onto the market and the curators have a look at it. They'll reject it. So once we've got all these set up, I will probably should get rid of that. So I'll just close that and start again. So new item. I will find the item on my computer. And load that back in. I choose both because it's a unisex item. I can choose whatever. This is how many you can sell essentially. So yeah, sell one item to 100,000 items. That just chooses its rarity, and then obviously where it's going. So this in this case it is going on the feet, and now we press create. Right, now that item is inside of your collection. You can set the price if you really want to, but not necessary right now for testing purposes. That's for marketing. What we're going to do is we've got menus here as well to tell you what you can do. See item, open in editor, and remove the item as well. Up here we can go see in world and a number of other things. Don't worry too much about the URN that comes in play later on. So essentially that's how we put an item onto Decentraland. Now if you want to view this item, we can just go on the three dots and go open in editor, or click on the item and then go to open editor as well. This will bring you to this interface here. Be mindful with this interface, it's not like having it inside of Decentraland as well. It simply just gives you a representation of your item. So you won't see lighting, you won't see glow, and a number of other things that you see that get rendered once it's in Decentraland. So in here, this is where we can set all the information for our item. You know, we can put a short description in here. You know, my green shoes or whatever. You can select, again, change where it's going to sit, be mindful of that, rarities and all sorts of things. You can also remove items, have a play around with it. Say, for instance, if we want this item is shoes, if we want it to hide, I don't know, let's say the head when it's applied, and it also replaces, it will press save, and that will remove the head. So you can have, a bit of fun with certain items, and depending on what you've decided to do with your item. Right, so once we've done that, we are going to start looking into moving it into a testing realm. So if we go up here, it's back to the editor, the builder, sorry, in here. We now need to click back into our collection, and inside of our collection here, we now move up into, this is where things might get a little bit tricky. We'll click on See in World, it'll open up a new tab. Inside this tab, you'll get an error. This error is stating that you are not on the Ropestein network. So in order to change onto the Ropestein network, which is a test network, we need to change our MetaMask. Inside of MetaMask, we need to change up here. We need to find the Ropestein test now. If you do not have that up here, sometimes this button is here. You can go hide and show, and it'll come into this menu. So I will quickly show you how to get into that menu as well. If you click on your display picture, I guess, and go down to settings, we go to the advanced tab or menu. Inside of this advanced tab menu, the first item says show test networks. Turn that on. If you don't, you'll only see Ethereum or whatever other networks you have in your wallet. So turn that on, and now we have the Ropestein test network. Right, so make sure that that is in place. Then we come here and we click reload. Also sign the agreement. If not, well, you're not going to get in there. So once we're in the testing area of Decentraland, this will only load the collection that you've selected to view in here as well. If you need to mute the website just from noise and music and whatever's going on in there, just right click on the tab, press mute. And we've lost the other percent somewhere. Where is it? Tick, 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 tick. Righto. Yep. Yep. I forgot about that too. Get to that. So that way we're not switching back and forth from networks. We can also just add. All right. This is the default avatar. If you've gotten to this part and it's asking you to run through a tutorial, I believe you can press F and then E to exit out of your tutorial as well. You will also need to, I believe, create a random name, or it does it itself. This one's called Elephant. Different. Right. So obviously we hopefully know how to work Decentraland, or run through that tutorial if you need to. So we have our avatar. We're inside of the testing area. You cannot leave Genesis Plaza. You are stuck in here. Don't try to go to any of these events or anything like that. It just won't allow you. Right. So yeah, go into Genesis Plaza. We're going to go into the backpack and find our item generally in collectibles. So this is the collection of collectibles we have. This is in the way. So we now can click on the item that we've imported. So we haven't got a face or a head, but we do have our shoes. Press done, and now we can see that in world and test out all sorts of things, which we'll get to about when we go to modeling. So you're generally just trying to test out if there's any sort of issues, such as texture issues, or if there's really long undeformed parts of your model and things like that, or it's not connecting to the bones and all sorts of things like that. So we'll get further into detail when we do modeling about that. So that's how you get into the test network.